Welcome to another toy episodes. Today we're going to be looking at my McFarlane Batman 89 Custom. So it's not so much of a review, but what you can do to kit bash a head sculpt from Mezco. The head sculpt from Mezco Batman 89. It honestly was too big for the figure, but probably the best part of that figure. That figure, it's not a good figure at all. For the 3 years we had to wait, it was just not good. But with the McFarlane figure, you can pose them, which is great, right? And the problem is that the likeness is not there. And honestly, I think they had George Clooney, not the George Clooney, but the Batfleck problem, where they didn't have the rights or the license for it. That's why I think they made him the way they made him. Because how are you making a George Clooney or Val Kilmer with excellent likeness, and then Batman 89 you're not? So I just don't think McFarlane had the license. Maybe he still doesn't have it. I don't know. We'll have to see what the next Batman 89 wave is going to be like. But pretty much I did add a custom wired cape that I bought from eBay. And let me show you what I did exactly. So I did heat up the figure. So I took the cowl off, and then I left the emblem, right? So the emblem itself, all I did is heat it up with hot water, and I pried the emblem right off. And I'm using black Tiki Tack that actually hardened, and this will cover up that big hole. And then what I did is that I screwed a little screw here. Now you could do a little screw or a big screw, and then that'll give it the magnetic pull it's going to need from Mezco's head. The head does have magnets in the bottom, right? All three heads have the magnets, so you can switch them up, and all you have to do is that's it. So depending on if you're just putting them on the shelf, you just kind of fix it to make sure that, this is not showing here. Or with photography, just kind of pull it down a little bit more. And then you can either keep the cape that it came with, but we know that he didn't have a fabric cape for Batman 89. He did use a leather cape, so you could buy something like this through eBay. And then what you do is just put the cape over. It doesn't have to be wired. It could also be just a standard like pleather type of cape. And this way it gives it that flowing look right there, and that looks pretty awesome. So was it hard to do? Honestly, I think half of it or half of the cowl got stuck, so I had to keep heating it up constantly until it finally came out, and then it left like a little square on top. So what I did is I kept heating it, and then I grabbed an X-Acto knife and I cut that little square right off. And I try to flatten it out as much as I could. And I'm using different hands here. This is like from the Flash Batman hands, because it can actually hold the batarangs. But now with the sonar suit, the one that came with the black and blue type of mismatching, you can actually use those hands if you wanted to, at least until we get a proper 89 figure with different hands. So as you can tell, the gloves do have the line work that the Batman 89 hands would have, so you could use it if you want. But this is what I have so far for this custom Batman 89. Now a lot of people have done this. I just wanted to give you my insight of what I did, and honestly I think it looks great. I'm starting to see 3D head sculpts now, where you can leave the emblem and then the cowl will sit on top of the emblem. The only problem with that is that unless you know how to paint the eyes, which I do not, it just makes it harder. The Mezco head sculpt, the eyes are painted beautifully, as well as the mouth plate. So I'm not really, I could do the mouth plate, but not the eyes. The eyes were always a problem for me, so I don't know if I would go that route. And for this, you can actually switch out the head sculpts. Now I plan to do the same thing with the NECA Batman 89. Right now all I did was add a a pleather cape. This is the extra mescal cape, so that looks pretty good. It's a little on the short side, but I like the pleather look. So I plan to do the same thing, where I'm going to pop out the head sculpt and cut down whatever neck peg holder they have. Let's see. So this part right here, I want to cut it down and put another screw there, and then do the whole mescal head sculpt on this one. Because if you look at the movie itself, or the costume, it really shouldn't be, you know, a all plastic suit. In the movie, it was armored, and NECA did it right with this one, because they put armor plates around him. So for the front, if you look at the back, also plating, and you know, the boots. So I think this is a more accurate representation of the Batman '89 suit, but NECA's is pretty limited, unfortunately. Whereas McFarlane does have the articulation, but I wish they would have had the plates, or even Mesco, if they would have had the plates instead of the whole vinyl suit. That would have been much better. I think Hot Toys messed that up too. They should have done plates. So I think it's gonna look great on the NECA once it's done. Let me know what you think. Have you already done this? Do you plan to do it? Is it too troublesome? Do you like it? Please leave a comment, subscribe, and I'll see you on the next 2 episodes.